Thanks for tuning in to episode 74 of the Batman on Film podcast. BOF is the sponsor as well as a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network. Check out all the shows there at batmanpodcastnetwork.com. I am your host and the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Jett Ramey. With me today is the co-host of this here podcast, Rick Shew. And also with me today is one of the great BOF roundtablers, Justin Kowalski. Gentlemen, boys, how are y'all doing this morning?
Doing well, Bill. What's going on with you guys?
Yeah. Oh, same old. Justin?
Yeah, just doing okay today.
Okay. Very good. All right. Batman on Film, authoritative, definitive, the gosh darn original. So, we're here this morning, today, depending on when you are listening, the audience are listening, what time of day it is. But anyway, we're here, we're doing this in the morning, and we're going to talk about something that it's not really fun to talk about, to be honest. We're going to try to pay some respect and kind of honor someone who we think should be getting a little bit of respect and some honor right now. And that would be Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder has left the director's chair of Justice League due to a family tragedy. And that would be his daughter, I believe her name was Autumn Snyder, 20 years old, committed suicide back in March. And Zack kind of... just kind of tried to soldier on and finally came to the point where his family issues, the family matters, and being with his family was more important than continuing to make a movie. And in the grand scheme of life, that's way more important than making a movie. So he has decided to step away for good. And Joss Whedon, who recently signed on with Warner Brothers to direct a Batgirl film, will shepherd this thing on out through post-production to its release in November. So it's that's pretty heavy. And as much, look, let me say, I like Zack Snyder personally. I've met him, and I can't be very specific, but I actually spoke on the phone with him not too long ago, and I'll leave it at that. But I like him personally. He has been nothing but nice to me the times I've met him. He is a genuinely nice man. I think he is a very talented individual, and just because I've been critical of one of his films, and that would be Batman v Superman, does not mean that I do not like this man, or that any of us do not like this man. And in fact, I'm not a Zack Snyder hater. I'm a big fan of Watchmen. I like 300. I'm sometimes I've seen like one of the few people who basically almost love Man of Steel. And so, none of our criticism of BVS has been personal toward this man. And so, and we're not here today to even talk about that stuff. We're here today just to, acknowledge what's happened and, pay our respects. So, Rick, what you got, dude?
Pardon me, guys. Literally choked up here. So let me just say this to begin. I too think Watchmen is a masterpiece. It's not just Zack Snyder's best film. It's in my top 5 best comic book films. Man of Steel, I really like a lot as well. And the guy is a visionary artist, and he is an incredible talent. And no one's ever taken that away from him. Mm-hmm. But more importantly from all that, he's a dad.
Yeah.
I have 2 young daughters myself. I can't even imagine what his family's going through. I don't know how you smile again when I see stories. And I know a lot of people that have lost children in various ages. Some when they were adults, some when they were babies, some when they were little kids. One of my mom's cousins, who I guess is like my second or third cousin, she, we buried her 4-year-old son many years ago. and he had died of leukemia. And that's just not what a parent is supposed to do. I'm sorry, pardon me. That's not what a parent is supposed to do. A parent is not supposed to bury their children. So I don't even know the magnitude of what the hell he's facing every day, but whatever your religion is, or if you don't have one, whatever, if it's a prayer, if it's just good vibes, whatever it is that you do to send people love, we should all be sending it to Zack Snyder and his entire family. And, you know, this tragedy comes on the heels of you know, a musical tragedy with Chris Cornell. And there's a correlation I'm making here because a talented, beautiful guy like him, and he decides that he can't go on living. He commits suicide. And, my father, I've dealt with it, firsthand. My dad has, 3 brothers. One is amongst the living. One is deceased. That wasn't a very good person, but I don't want to say anything bad about a dead person, but one of his brothers was a beautiful guy, and, he committed suicide, and I was a senior in high school. And I remember thinking back then when that happened, how often he had reached out to my aunt and told her that he was going to do it, and no one took him seriously. And then he did. And, I guess it's a good time to also recognize the turmoil that people can go through that can lead to this sort of thing. It's a very, and I don't want to be too preachy. That's, you know, we're a Batman fan site, but I think this is a moment when it hits home because Zack Snyder is home to us, regardless of our opinion of Batman versus Superman. He's first of all, he's a passionate filmmaker. We're passionate movie lovers, and he does love these characters. I've never doubted that he loves Batman and Superman and everything, and never have. And so it's like we're all part of that family, regardless if we agree or disagree on one particular movie. And so it hits home. And so when it does, you have to look around and say, maybe it's a good idea that we acknowledge that. And what I just wanted to say right now, and then give the floor to Justin, is I want to give out a phone number. And I just, if you know somebody in your life that's going through issues and they're threatening suicide, they're joking, they're alluding about, when I say joking, you think they're joking, they're alluding about it. I would say never not take it seriously. Even if they say it 67 times, you're like, this is the boy who cried wolf. He or she is just being a drama queen. I would never dismiss it, because you might wake up and somebody may go down that road. And once they do, obviously you can't bring them back. So National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Let me give that number out real quick. It's 1-800-273-8255. You can also go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org. That's a great site. That's all.
And just before we turn it over to Justin, Zack Snyder did tweet out a link to AFSP.org, which is American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So I want to mention that because that's the one he specifically tweeted to his followers. So,
oh, good. I missed that.
Yes.
That was not on my radar. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even better. Let's go to the one that he wants us to support. It's all the same anyway at the end of the day, but let's
absolutely. So one more time, AFSP.org, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And with that, I will turn it over to Justin.
Yeah. I wanted to mention, he also tweeted out the jedfoundation.org, which I think it's specifically focused on suicide and emotional health for young people. And so that's just jedfoundation.org. So yeah, this is hard, especially when, you know, most of us are not connected to Zack Snyder in any way except that we like his films. And but it impacts us because when things like this happen, it's when we become, I think it really takes us back to being human again. So many times we get wrapped up in the meaningless parts of, you know, fandom is a fickle place, and it takes you to ridiculous things, and it can take you to, you know, huge, joyful, you know, areas. But, I think when something of this magnitude happens, it causes you to, you know, put things in perspective, and even not just with Zack Snyder, with everybody has things going on. And sometimes we fail to acknowledge that, you know, everybody is human. Everybody has highs, everybody has lows. And, sometimes we don't know about those things. And I think a situation like this causes us to take a step back and look at the reality of like, you know, these are just movies and it's just entertainment. And even though we get a huge, you know, we get a, you know, it impacts us. The stories that people tell impacts us when we carry them with us. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, a person who's helping to create these things. And, again, a tragedy, it makes us human. And hopefully it gives you a perspective on your own life and, you know, what you're doing, and maybe even causes you to evaluate, some things that you might need to, you know, take a look at. You know, it's hard being, depressed and being, you know, emotionally distraught is a hard place to be. And it's not easy either. It's not like a quick, you know, well, I'm going to go in one day. It's clinical and it needs to be treated, and it's hard, you know, and it makes people feel like they got no other choice. You know, imagine being that low. And so, like you kind of said, Rick, you know, if anyone's feeling that way, I mean, it's today's the day, you know, like don't put that stuff off, because, you know, emotional health is something that can deteriorate, and it can bring you down fast. And so, yeah, if any of this stuff affects you guys, I would, you know, encourage you guys to reach out to somebody. You know, a lot of times
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. It's the time to do it is now. You really need to reach out and to talk to somebody, because being pulled out of the dark place, you know, it's hard, you know. And so my heart goes out to Zack Snyder and his family. I can't even imagine, that it breaks your heart, you know. You don't want to lose a child, you know, grown or small. And so again, like I got a daddy's heart, and, you know, I think about my two boys and I love them and I'd do anything for them. And so, I can't even imagine.
Yes. And we're the same age, Zach and I, and, I have a 21-year-old daughter. So, you know, it kind of hits close to home for me to think I couldn't imagine that, you know, so I just can relate to you know, us being the same generation, same age, and having a daughter basically the same age. And, it would just be devastating. And, I mean, wow, I really don't have much else to say, but I do want to say that, again, I think he's a great guy, you know, he's a great dad. Apparently he has lots of kids. He's a great husband. He's a good dude. You know, I just want to put it that way. And I agree with Rick. He, you know, unlike Chris Nolan, he is a bit of a fanboy and loves these characters. And so I've never doubted that either. So, it must suck for him not to be able to finish this movie. And I think it sucks too. I really do. No matter what I've said about Justice League or BBS or, you know, being concerned about Justice League, I just think it sucks that he doesn't get to finish it. And, this is an important time for that film. So
yeah,
I feel for him in that regard as well. But I think he's a strong guy. I think he'll never get over this, but I think he'll end up professionally. He'll move on and he'll do something else great down the line. And that's what I hope as well.
Yeah.
And we've got, obviously Josh Whedon is stepping in to finish it. What we kind of talked about is we certainly want to explore that. There's a lot to discuss, a lot to speculate on, and, we're going to just save that for another show.
Yes, we're not going to talk about that this week. We're going to do it on the next show. And we wanted this to be about Zach and all that. So, guys, anything else you want to finish up with? And we said some pretty heartfelt stuff there. And I know I'm done as far as I got nothing else to add. But Rick, Justin, anything you guys want to throw in there?
I think, I mean, I don't know about Justin, but I feel like that says it all. We posted links. Just please take it seriously. I've been through it in my family. It's not fun. Yeah. It's just not fun because it's senseless. You know, we all die. There's no doubt about it. There's no one here escaping death. But what is unbelievably tragic when it's at the hands of someone that's themselves, that they did it to themselves because they just could not go on looking themselves in the mirror another day. You get hit by a bus, you die in a car wreck, your plane goes down, you know, your name was in that black book. It was your time to go. There's no way to say that about a suicide. That's not supposed to happen. Well, I think that we've got, next weekend, we can talk about the Josh Whedon thing. Are we doing a show next weekend, guys? Because, we
are doing something next weekend. So before we move on to anything fun, let's just have a moment of silence for Autumn Snyder and Zack Snyder's family. And if you're listening, just join in with us just for a few seconds here, and then we'll talk about something a little bit more happier. All right. Hey now. So speaking of next week, Rick and Justin, because we're all going to be there, we're going to be doing what? Justin, I'll let you announce that. Well, of course, we've already announced it, but talk about that because you're making the biggest trip of us three to do this. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm headed out to Texas. I got my 10-gallon hat and my spurs, so pretty excited about that.
You get to ride Rick's horse. Rick's got a little, got a big ranch behind there. He's got several horses and cattle and
fried bologna sandwiches. I mean,
we're gonna
tumbleweeds are blowing down his road and
he said he's going to take me to the watering hole, so that's going to be fun. So no, I'm headed out to Texas for our Wonder Woman viewing party, which is going to be on Saturday, and I'm really excited to hang out with you guys in person. It's been a rough couple weeks, and so I'm looking forward to, hanging out with the buddies and, that it's good. It's good to move into a time of, celebration and happiness. It kind of pulls you out of your funk. And so, yeah, without getting into specifics, I had a really, really, really rough week, and, yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman party. I need a good time. And, yeah, man, it's good because there's a lot of goodwill going towards Wonder Woman. You can't deny that it's been, people are excited about this movie, and
yes.
It's pretty unanimous. And so, that being said, I feel like there's this really great, it sounds really dumb, a really great, excitement and positive energy about this movie. I think even beyond it, like being a good film, people are just really pumped. Like, I love seeing these pictures of just everyone doing the bullet deflecting pose. That's fun, man. It's, I don't think it's ever going to get to a level of like, Batman 89, Batmania, but it's kind of cool seeing like A, Wonder Woman get her due, and B, the people being excited about it. My wife's excited about it. A lot of people say my wife is excited about Wonder Woman, and I think you take for granted that, ladies, they look up to characters as well. And I think, when someone that they've always looked to as a hero gets that spotlight, it's kind of, they live vicariously through it like we do. And, if it's a Batman film, we're super pumped on that. And so you get excited. And so I think they're starting to get that same excitement. And one of the things that I've noticed in recent years is there's been a lot more, females, having their geek inclinations, out there. They're going to see me at the comic stores all the time, and they're at Comic-Con. They're like the number one cosplayers out there, and it's like, it's cool. I like seeing it. I wish they were there when I was in high school, but they weren't, and that's just the reality of life. But it's cool to see that, and so I'm excited for them. And I think it's the Alamo Drafthouse is doing an all-female screening of Wonder Woman.
They are. Yeah,
that stirred up a lot of controversy, didn't it?
Yeah, and any there's a lot of guys that are like, why can't we go? And it's just like,
really?
Yeah, it's kind of like,
oh yeah, Bill, it's.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. If we did a guys only thing, it wouldn't go. People would be pissed off about it. I'm like, oh really? That's where you're at with this in your head. My Lord.
Oh my God, get over that. I didn't even know that. Wow. Whatever. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then it became like, why not? You know, and it's, yeah, whatever. I don't even want to give those guys time. I just think I think it's awesome that they're doing that. And you know what? God bless them, man.
I want to say one thing to those guys. We at my bar, we do ladies' night on Tuesdays. You are not welcome to that deal. Not going to happen. you don't get that offer.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I am excited for Wonder Woman, and I'm super happy about all the positive buzz and press it's getting. And like we said for a long time here on this show that, you know, yeah, we wanted to make money and be, you know, successful, relatively speaking, at the box office, but it was very important for this film to get good reviews and have good buzz, and that's what it's getting. And I can't be happier about that. I'm so excited for it, and I hope it does. I hope it just kicks ass critically among the entire audience, fans, non-fans, whatever, women and men, and you know, it's just all around success. So. Rick, anything you want to throw in about?
You know, I was just going to say that when the first wave of reviews started coming out, you know, reviews, the social media reaction, I took it with a grain of salt. I wonder how many of these people are kind of not legit. You know, I didn't know who they were. I'd go to them somewhere like from junk sites. I was like, I hope this is all. But man, once that second wave started coming out, and people like from Collider, people that we know personally. I'm like, okay, now this is real. Now this is real. Now this film is genuinely getting a good buzz, and these reactions are positive. They're consistent, and that made me feel really good. So you and I get to see it on Tuesday, Bill, so we'll be able to talk about it on our way home from the... You'll see it in Houston, I'll see it in Dallas. We'll get to talk about it on our way home from the theater.
Yes, Rick, one of the perks of being a friend of mine and being... contributor to Batman on Film is I hook you up with cool stuff like getting press credentials in the Dallas Fort Worth market. So you're welcome, sir.
And it is a lot.
Hey,
better
wait, there's perks.
not to say that I didn't. Not to say that I didn't appreciate it or have a good time, but it is going to be better than, let's say, driving down to Houston to see Rogue One. 15 minutes.
Yes. Well, you would have drove to Des Moines, Iowa to see Rogue One early if they.
Well, of course I would have.
Yes. So
I would have flown to Outer Mongolia to.
Yeah.
And
all right.
So no, Wonder Woman. Go ahead. Wonder Woman is great vibes, man. That's so wonderful for the film, for DC, for all of us. And then we're gonna have our big watching party, like we've all talked about. If you guys, tickets are not quite on sale for that showing yet. We're
not
trying
for the Saturday, yeah, because I'm looking constantly, yeah.
We're trying to get like that 6:30, 7 o'clock screening. That way people can, you know, have a little early dinner and some drinks and everything before we go in. I don't want to do it too early. I don't want to do it too late. Because we don't want to do it too late, because we may try to all go somewhere afterwards, maybe just to a bar. If we get out of a movie at midnight, I know for a fact Bill was going back to his house.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not getting that dude out past midnight.
Doubt. No.
Is this one of those theaters where you can buy your ticket and it like secures your seat, or is it just kind of first come, first serve?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can reserve seats. So
okay, cool.
And Justin, when they go up, I'll snag yours. You know.
Oh,
yeah, we got you. Don't worry about that.
I've got my buddy Richard. I'm getting 4 for him, and then I'll snag yours, and you guys just pay me back.
Yeah, you good. Okay. So, Rick, go ahead and tell everybody where it's at and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's at the Cinemark in West Plano, and Plano is 20 minutes from downtown Dallas, especially on the west side of town, which is where we are going to be. It's a straight shot to downtown Dallas, in fact. Anyway, it's off Parker Road, and you can't miss it. It's off a major U.S. highway, 20 minutes north of the 7th biggest city in the U.S. You can't miss it. And again, we will post online in a variety of different places when tickets go on sale. So essentially the way it'll work is we'll say this. Okay, guys, tickets are going on sale right now for the 7:15 screening. This is this very specific one we're going to see. Get your tickets, go.
Yes, I will tweet it. I will put it up on BOF proper. I'll put it on the Facebook Batman on Film fan page. So we'll get it out there.
We'll get it out there. And once that happens, get your ticket, and then we'll all meet at the theater. And we'll give a specific time. It's a 7 o'clock showing. Maybe it's like 5:30. We're gonna take Justin to eat some early Mexican food at Chewy's. Tex-Mex. It's in the same parking lot as the theater. So anybody's welcome to join us in there. I think I'm just going to try to snag us a table in the bar area where it's very casual. People can kind of come and go, and it's not in the middle of a dining room where it's, it's in the bar area. I think is the best way to try to pull that off. You can join us there or just meet us over at the theater. The theater has a full menu and a full bar as well. So if you just want to get your drink on there, just do it. Right? You don't have to go somewhere.
Yeah. We'll be sporting our Batman on Film gear as well, representing this wonderful site, Batman on Film. So, I want to mention something else. What was it? Oh, I think we're good. Guys, anything else you want to discuss before we go? Because I think we covered what we wanted to cover this week.
No, I think that's it. Maybe do some plugs. That's about all I would say. Justin, Justin, what do you got going on, dude?
Just again, the Let's Go comic show and Let's Go cast. Those are always putting shows out for that. We just released another comic show yesterday. If you want to check those out, go to letsgocast.com. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, it's J_Rocka, and we can chat about the success of movies and all that good stuff. We can argue with Tom from England.
That's good. All right, Rick, go.
All right, Rick, go. Twitter, Shew Rick, SHEWRICK. You can hit me up on Facebook at Batman on Film Shoes. That's SHEW_S. And as far as any just plugs, not really a whole lot going on right now. The most recent Left Shoe Politics podcast is up, where I sit down with Dr. Frederick from upstate. Well, I keep saying upstate New York. The guy lives in Manhattan. I don't know why I keep wanting to take him upstate. He's a New York doctor, eye doctor, and we sat down and had a one-on-one conversation just about Donald Trump. And it's a pretty fiery conversation, but it's very respectful. And he and I actually like and respect one another a lot, and we certainly need more of that in the world when it comes to politics. So please give that a listen. Follow me on Twitter.
All right, we're definitely going to shoot some video at the watch party before and after. We'll definitely do that. So look forward. I think if I can talk Justin into making us a little nice video again of that event.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have it on Batman on Film at some point soon. And we'll kind of leave this as a cliffhanger. We'll address Joss Whedon and Justice League going forward here shortly, not on this show, but hopefully maybe we can get together one day this week in the evening or whenever and talk about that and do it before, because I know after next weekend we're going to have a big Wonder Woman show. We're all going to want to talk about Wonder Woman. So there's a couple shows coming up right there in the near future. So I will let announcer Rachel take us out, and bye for now.
Hey now! You've been listening to the Batman on Film podcast, a proud member and the sponsor of the Batman Podcast Network, batmanpodcastnetwork.com. You can listen to the BOF podcast on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, TuneIn, and wherever good podcasts like this one can be found. Want to advertise on the BOF podcast? Go to advertisecast.com/the Batman on Film Con podcast. Follow Jett on Twitter at Batman on Film and on BOF's Facebook fan page at facebook.com/Jett.BatmanOnFilm. Email Jett via Jett@batman-on-film.com. Follow Rick on Twitter at ShewRick and on Facebook at facebook.com/BOF-Shew. For Jett, Rick, Justin, and Ryan, I'm announcer Rachel. Thanks for listening.